Hi everybody, Jeff here. I have a very important video which I'll talk about it afterwards. I'm going to read you a document, very important document, and I will talk about it afterwards. So here we go. I'm going to read this document for educational and entertainment purposes. Document begins. The Canadian Declaration of Independence. It is the unanimous declaration of the 13 states of the Republic of Canada that when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitled them, a decent respect to the opinions of humanity requires that they should declare the causes which compel them to such a separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In order to secure these rights, governments are instituted from among the people, deriving their just powers from the ongoing consent of the governed. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish said government and to institute a new government in its place, laying its foundation on the principles and organizing its powers in such a form as to ensure that good governance and the protection of the rights of the people are the objective and most likely outcome of that government. Prudence will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transitory causes. The whims and passing fancies of the heat of the moment are not reasons good or just enough to upturn a government. Such passions and pastimes of a people will only bring about chaos and disorder amongst the people and the nation. This is to be avoided most assuredly. On the contrary, history and the experience of all humanity hath shown that the people are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms of government to which they are accustomed. There comes a time, however, when the long train of abuses, insults, violations, and actions by a government upon its own people make clear the intent and destination of said government, tyranny and despotism. It is then the right and duty of the people to throw off such a government and in its place institute a new one, instructed and required so as to provide new guards for the future security, benefit of the people, and the protection of their rights. Such has been the sufferance of the people of these 13 states of the Republic of Canada, which started out as an outpost in the farthest reaches of the world in order to harvest the rich resources of a distant land, has grown into a rich and wondrous nation in and of itself. So too the government of this nation has also evolved over time, but not for the good. Instead, it has shifted towards the tyrannical. Thus, in order to form a more perfect union, to better foster the rights of the people as well as to ensure good, fair, democratic, and responsible government, the Republic of Canada is born this day. To that end, we, the undersigned, signify by our signing our pledge that we support, demand, and will work together in the service of and in conjunction with the people in order to bring the Republic of Canada into being. Though this action be necessary, it is not being done out of hatred, malice, or ill will towards the King, the Crown, or our sponsoring nation, the great nation of the United Kingdom. Rather, this action, this forming of a new and independent republic, is being done out of the natural progression and evolution of this great nation of Canada that was born on this continent, lo, those many years ago. Document ends. It is clear, and no one could possibly deny that that is an copied and edited version of the United States Declaration of Independence. And this next part I've hummed and hawed, but I always edited that. The reason why is because I figured if we're going to move forward to this project, founding a republic, that we would need a Declaration of Independence. And so since you don't know how to do it, never done one before, you do some research and read up on what it is. And so I decided, well, I'm going to read the American one. And when I read it, its words were profound, iconic, stand the test of time. I just felt that it needed to be updated for our times. One of them is that all men, from changing all men were created equal to all people were created equal, because again, it's more inclusive and it's more respective of, I would say, I think the intent that they meant. But for us now, we've, believe that race really has any bearing on anything, or gender or sexual identity or race, any of those demographics, I like to say. So I think that's fair. I hope the American people are not offended, but that's what I did. I took it, I edited it, I tossed out the King George this, King George that, and just simply tailored it to Canada and made it and updated it for our times. I know this probably could get me in a lot of trouble, but again, this is not an official proclamation. This is simply me reading a document that I wrote and hoping to get some attention, because I do believe the time has come for us to become a republic. And this is, I still don't know if I'm going to, well, it's risky to even release this video because we are in the times that we're in. And that is that just simply you can have your life destroyed for wrong think and saying the wrong things, thinking the wrong things. And the Crown, as I've stated in that hour-long video, has a ton of power. And there are a lot of people who still believe that we should be ruled by the Crown. I'm saying, why? It's our country. We should control it. It should be for the people, of the people, by the people. I firmly am against us joining the United States government, the United States. We would be swallowed up. We would gain, maybe be kind of peace, kingmakers in the Senate, because we would go, because each province and territory would be a state. Okay. Then you would end up with, we'd end up with the U.S. Senate would go from 100 seats to 126 seats. We would get 26 seats. Okay. Can't force anything through. We'd still need the Americans down south. In the House of Representatives, we're 40 million people. We would get the same seats that New York has. We would have no say whatsoever. We would get gobbled up. We would get stomped all over, and the Americans would have complete control, be able to run roughshod over what we have, over Canada, doing anything they want. And it's not their lands, it's not their special, so they would not care about saying, yeah, just clear-cut Banff National Park, no problem. All that old growth forest, absolutely clear-cut it completely, whatever. And then mine the daylights out of the Rocky Mountains, the Canadian Rocky Mountains, because, and then just turned it into the Rocky Canyon. Mind the damn thing so much. Who cares? We would not be able to stop them. We are our own country. We should be our own country. And it should be ours. Great. We should still be good allies of the United States. There's a close, absolutely. I think the American system of government needs to be imported. It needs to be improved. We can look at it, look at the experience that it's been with the Americans, and go, okay, change this, change that, change the other thing, tweak this, tweak that, but it's much better overall than ours. That's that. We'll see if I'm stupid enough to actually release this video, but there you go. Take care.